Currently that batch has already started, right? So, and I also want some time to like practice UI5 and everything, and then I want to join that Fury Advanced. So when?
I don't think so. I'll soon start again the Fury Advanced course because it's very difficult to find a slot for that particular batch. So the only option left is go with video based mode after the course is complete. Yeah, and you can
Oh,
anyway ask your doubts.
okay.
All right. So let everybody is there. I guess almost. I've sent out an email also. I'm so sorry guys for confusion in the meeting link today. I will update the meeting link. Please follow the calendar from tomorrow onwards again for the right meeting link. As of now, we got to continue with the current meeting. Due to some email verification issue, I could not switch today myself itself to the new meeting link which I have sent. So I'm so sorry for the delay and also the confusion today to all of you. Let's start today's session. Very important session once again. In today's session, we will go ahead and discuss about OData service, how to use them, what are all the different components inside an OData service. So let's start and discuss the components inside an OData service. So as we have already seen in the last session, what is exactly the OData service? OData service is a way of communication over HTTP to the server. It could be an ABAP server, it could be a server which is based out of Java programming or any other programming language. OData is a protocol to be able to serve the necessary guidelines to be able to consume the data over HTTP in a REST-based format. Now, whenever you look at an OData, you will essentially be working with an OData service. So, what is an OData service? So, an OData service is used to expose data from the server side. This is what an OData service is used to, can expose the data from the server side. Whenever we want to consume data, we will always use the OData from UI5. For this purpose, we will have OData model used. If you remember, is a server-side model. Doesn't mean the coding is on server side. Coding is still on the client side. It is still in your UI5 project, but it is actually called as a server-side model. The reason is very simple. The purpose itself is server-side. You're consuming server-side data this time. Now, when you look at an OData service, what are the components it has? And let's try to perform some get operation. So you all know the different type of HTTP operation like get, put, post, delete, merge, batch, the different operations. So we'll talk specifically about the get operation today. When it comes to get operation, the first get operation or first document which you would like to look at is service document. A service document describes the list of entity types and entity sets. What is an entity type? An entity type is nothing but it's a blueprint of an real life object. It could be sales order, it could be material, it could be purchase order, it could be accounting document, it could be person, it could be human, it could be business partner, it could be um, customer, it could be partner. Yeah, all these are real life objects in a ERP system. So entity type indicates the blueprint of a real life object. It includes all the properties and key properties of an object. Like customer, the key property will be customer ID. Then you have customer name, city, street. Since when the customer is dealing with you, what is the address of the customer, what is the country, what is the region. All these are the properties of the customer. Now, customer ID here is a key property, and rest all are the other properties with their data types. So that is what you define using entity type. It's a blueprint. You can consider it's like a structure of your data, how the data will look like, metadata of the data you define using entity type. Then comes is entity set. Very important. Entity set is actually used to perform the CRUD operation. Okay. Perform the CRUD operation on entity. What do we mean by CRUD? CRUD means create, read, update, and delete. Clear, everybody? That's what the CRUD means. This is what you do with the data. Suppose you have a Mara table or LFA1 table. You will work like select star from Mara, deletes from Mara table, update Mara table, read Mara table, select query you'll do insert, right? All these are major operations which you perform. So OData specification provides a standardized way to implement the CRUD methods. So entity set is what you will use for every entity type. You have an entity set. So you will use an entity set to perform CRUD operation on the entity. So all the operations actually, in fact, in Fire, they are all on entity set. Typically, entity type and entity set has typically one-to-one relationship. So one entity type like customer, you may have example customers set or partner set or sales order set, like this. You will have sales order item set. Like this, you will have different entity sets. Everybody, is that clear, everyone? What is an entity set? So actual operation will be done on entity set. The specification or the template which is used to create entity set is entity type. Entity type is a structure. Just like if you want to consider compare with ABAP, you have a structure in ABAP, and then you create itab type table of that structure. So that itab is like your entity set. Okay. Now, where can you see these entity type and entity set? So we will first use a service document to see entity set. So I have showed you yesterday's session, the ERP system which SAP is providing for free, and ES5 system. You can see this ES5 system over here. In this ES5 system, we will go to the server. So let me just open this server link. The server link is already given there in the training in the blog. I will also put this server link over here. And you see it's asking me to log in now. Directly in the browser, I can log in. Client is 002, my username password, and I click on login button. Wow, what an amazing feature. So you can now connect to this server in the web browser without even installing SAP GUI. But I think it's mandatory to have SAP GUI because it is using SAP GUI for HTML. So please install SAP GUI in your system, which is anyway mandatory for all of you. And afterwards you will see it is connected to my server actually. Okay, this is how you can connect to our ES5 server. But now guys, remember every server has a host and port name, and this is the main URL, which is actually mask URL. Okay, which is masking the IP address and the port number. So this is the public domain URL actually. Instead of remembering the IP address port number, you can always remember this URL, which is human readable. So this is the URL of the server. I can take this URL and I just put it here to connect to the server. To access to the service document, you need to know service name. there are lots of services in the system. So typically any OData service in SAP system has path prefix as slash SAP slash OPU slash OData slash. This is the path prefix which you will add to access any OData service. Normally, this is what usually have as a path prefix for any OData service in the system. And then afterwards, you have the OData service name. Let me show you how do I do that. There's a sample OData service in every SAP system. What is the name of that sample OData service? It's GW basic sample. This is the name of the OData service. It is there in every NetWeaver system. Sometimes it is inactive. You got to activate it. We'll look at that activation little later. But just understand this is a service and this is a path prefix. Let's go and test it. You can come back now. And now you see I had put SAP OPU OData. And then in this extra IWBEP is there. So just put that. And then put the service name. You see GW sample underscore basic. This is the service name. GW sample underscore basic. Put the service name, press enter. As a result of that, you will see the service document is popping up on your screen. This is exactly the service document. Don't panic by looking at this document. Don't panic. It's just nothing but a service document in form of XML format. Okay. Now, if you just expand it, you will see an entity set name, business partner set. That's an entity set name. You see product set, product entity type, product set, entity set. You have sales order entity type, sales order set, entity set. So you have entity type, entity set, entity type, entity set, entity type, entity set. Like this, you have different entity types in this and different entity sets. Now, what do you think these are coming from? They're coming from your this SAP system, guys, actually. Now, but you need to also quickly understand which entities are these entities exposing data from EKKO table. Is this business partner exposing data from KNA1 table or VBAC table? Which table they are exposing data from? So guys, in every NetWeaver system, we have something called EPM data model. Starting NetWeaver 7.4, SAP introduced an EPM data model. Okay. SAP has introduced an EPM enterprise procurement model. EPM data model they introduced. According to that, we have a demo company called ITEIO, which is an online IT equipment company. You can consider this exactly like Amazon, who is selling products. They are buying some IT equipments like laptops, tablets, mobile phones, smartphones, and selling it to the customers. So they're purchasing from somewhere, they have a platform, from there they are selling and they're delivering it to the customer, like Amazon does. So this is what the company and all the this EPM model, we have lots of tables and function modules to be able to showcase demo scenarios only for the purpose of demo and training, no other purpose, not practical purpose. So in this EPM model, we have sample tables and sample function modules. So tables is snwd underscore pd for product, snwd underscore text for language dependent product text, snwd underscore bpa for business partner, snwd underscore sales order for sales orders, snwd underscore sales order items for items, snwd underscore purchase order, snwd underscore purchase order items, etc. Likewise, there are multiple tables in here. You can observe that all the tables starts with SNWT underscore. Yeah, they all belongs to EPM model. What is the purpose? Is the purpose for real time use cases? Can you use these tables to provide a software to your customers which is productively used? No, they are only for demo and training purpose. If you want to just try out something in the system, you can use these tables of EPM data model only for demo purpose. Do you remember when you learned about which tables you have used while learning about your core ABAP days? Which table we used to use? SPFLI, S flight, S car, right? Flight tables we used to use for training purpose. Now SAP thought, why can't we make it more realistic for business? Rather than using flight table, we need some more realistic tables, right? Which are more close to real time. And that's why they introduced EPM data model, which has these tables. It also comes with free function modules. So similarly, there are some sample function modules and also an OData service. So this is a sample OData service built on EPM model, is giving you data from these tables. Here, everybody. So the OData service which you're using, GW sample basic, is actually an a service built on EPM data model. Clear everybody? Is that clear everyone? So that the data which is coming, it's all demo data, all for non productive purpose. It's all for demo purpose. Clear everyone? It's all for demo purpose. So this is our service document. Now where do we see the properties of each entity? So I know now this is my entity set. So you can see here this gentleman is your entity set and this gentleman is your entity type. But how can I now see the properties inside this entity type? How can I see that? So that is what we will look at, something called a metadata. Okay. We look at something called metadata. Metadata is data about data. So we have to look at metadata. For that reason, we have to now switch to the metadata document. So go on the top, put dollar $metadata. Small में रखना है. Don't put capital, it will not work. It's case sensitive. Put metadata on the top. And now you will see it has loaded the metadata of the service. Every entity type, its properties, key properties, it is putting in here. For business partner, you can see these are all the properties you have. Clear everybody? How to load metadata document of any service, any OData service, how to access metadata document. Yeah. Is that clear everyone? Accessing the metadata document. So first we access service document to see what entity sets you have. Second, we access the metadata document of the service to see what properties do we have. So whenever you have a confusion, you can always look at metadata document, which will tell you the property names. Now, why am I telling you metadata? Because these property, look at them. You remember our example of fruits JSON, where we have fruits data, right? And we did binding, property binding with the properties of fruits JSON entity set, right? Fruits entity set. So these are all those properties. So later on, if you're doing binding, these properties are very helpful. And where do you get this property list from? From the metadata you will get. What are all the properties this entity has? Okay. Now see similarly product also has properties like product name. You can see product ID, product name, lots of properties are there for product as well. Cool. So this is our metadata document, which is describing the details, describing the properties of all the required things in this system, all the required entities and their properties. Now, let us go ahead and see first get operation. I want to now read the data. So I have to perform get operation, and all of the get operations you can directly perform in the browser. Yes, you can directly perform. Suppose now I want to read the data for products. Anybody, what is that I need to call? Do I need to call entity type or do I need to call entity set? To read the data for product, do I need to call entity set or do I need to call entity type? Anybody, what do I need to call? Perfect answer. All the crude operations are on entity set. This is what I need to call. Now, whenever there is a call going from your browser, suppose this is your client, this is your browser. From the browser, if there is a call going to server, the Chrome browser is tracking that call. You can actually use browser to track this call. You can see the call, what call it has made, what was the request it has made, and what was the response it has got. You remember the request response architecture? So browser will always tell you what request you made and what response you got. This you can actually monitor and debug actually. So how can we debug that call which is going to the from the browser? You can press F12, go to network tab. Okay. And here you will see any call which I'm making from here to the server will actually come. So whatever you just did, press enter again. Watch out, watch out. You see the browser is tracing it. This is the call which is made to server. GW basic. Yeah, this is the call. You can come to headers. You remember I told you every request has a header and a body, optional body. So this is the header. You see this is the header which is telling, you see general request header and then response header, what came as a response. And you see here 200, okay, this is a response code. 200 means okay, it has come properly. And now you see request header, what went to the server. These are all the request header properties. We don't need to worry about them right now. Yeah, so a lot of properties browser is sending to the server. Okay, now look at the response. So you see this is the response which has come. Just click on this pretty print and it will just format it. And you see same response you are seeing on the top. This exactly same response you're seeing on the top. You see business partner set. ये देखो यहाँ पे. Clear everybody? How can you debug a particular call which it is making? Always you can debug like this. Always you can debug like this. It's always you can debug like this. Yeah. This is the way you can debug all the time, all the way. Okay, now coming back. So what we're going to do, we will just now check any call which you make. So now let's read the data. So first I'll clear the console so you can clear from here. And now I want to read the data for, let's say, products. So what is my entity set name? Anybody? What is my entity set name for products? Anybody? What is my entity set name as per the document, service document? It's product set. Perfect answer. Just use this. Go on the top and put it here and press enter. Okay. Press enter. Watch out. Watch out. Press enter. Now you see it has made a call again to the server. Project set, entity set, it has made a call. It has got a response. You can see the header 200 okay again. And the response is this XML. It has got me again. Yeah. So this is your real data from ERP system, guys. In the system, you are storing some product information in the database table, and that is the data which you can now see it on the UI. Clear, everybody? You can see this data. Now, if you want to just compare quickly, you can actually compare it. Go to the ERP system. Let me connect. Okay, I can just go back here, SAP. And now I will just quickly open SE11 if it allows me. I think it does allow me, but let's try. Very slow system actually. I just say insert a transaction code as a favorite. You see, I don't have authorization actually. So in this system is just a display system. As I told you yesterday, also free system. So many times you will not have authorization for certain things. You will have only view authorization. Okay. That is the little problem with this system. And let's see. It's actually very, very slow. Node added. Okay, let's open data dictionary. If I am authorized to see the results. Yes, I can see that. I'll just open table SNWD product display. Okay, very good. Let's look at the results. So where can I see the results? This is like new SAPQUI. So table, display content, utilities. data browser, table contents, and you see now I am getting authorization issue. So I can't see the content of the table, any content of the table. So you see this is the authorization issue you are getting. So this is the little problem with this server. That's why I would not recommend this server to be utilized. Just for demo scenario, yes, you can basic OData service you can explore, but cannot be used for real purpose. Don't have much authorization in this server. So this data is coming from the DB table, and you see it's displaying all the data. Now that's the first call to just get all the data. So let's put that. And the next thing what we have is now to get this data in JSON format. Yeah. So we got it by default in XML format. How can we get the data now in JSON format? For that, you have to add a URL parameter question mark dollar format equals to JSON. Remember, it's case sensitive. If you're putting in capital letter, it won't work. Question mark dollar format equals to JSON. Press enter. And voila, there you go. You can see we got results. Clear, everybody? This is what we've done. So we got results now. It's displaying up all the results to me in the JSON format. Do you remember this is equivalent to your fruits JSON? And now if you can download control S, you can save this JSON as a local file, upload in your project, and you can bind it according to the last fruits model, and then this data will be available. But that will be again local. We don't want that local data. So right now I'm skipping it up. You can actually do that. You can save this as a JSON file, take this in the project, this JSON file, and bind it accordingly. It will show up. But that will be again taking from the file, not from the server all the time. Okay. We'll also see that little later how to do binding with this. It's very easy. Same way you can bind the way you binded JSON model. Same way you can bind this JSON data to the UI at real time. Yeah. It will get the data real time. Okay, so that's our first get operation you can see. Now, one question to all of you. What if my ERP server has 5 or 10 billion products? What if my ERP server has 10 billion products? Anybody? Will it ever load? Will this ever load? If I have 10 billion products in my ERP system, will the response ever come? Will the response in the browser ever come? It will never come, guys. Do you agree? In a ERP system, how many orders usually you have in your company? You will have so many orders in your company, right? So when you have a browser, or let's say mobile, and you are using OData service now, send a call to the server. Yeah. So this is your server. You're sending a call to the server. And when you are making a call to the server, you are saying, get me the data. Get me all the data. So now it will have, let's say in its database, it has billions of records. Do you think these billions of records will ever load in your mobile device? Is your mobile memory sufficient enough to load these billions of records? And is your network, internet is sufficient to transfer these billion records over the network call? Not possible. Not possible. So what does YouTube does? YouTube has a big video. It has a video of 2 hours, right? Do you need to wait to load the entire 2 hour video to watch? No, YouTube does a buffering, right? It starts buffering, and parallelly it also starts the video. Similarly, we got to do the same thing. What is the buffering means? Buffering means don't send the entire data in one shot, but send the data into smaller chunks. Smaller chunks. Don't send the data in a single request, but send the data in a small chunk of data. Clear, everybody? So client keeps receiving the data. It starts the video, and then by the time other chunk is ready, the user will reach to the next 5 minutes, another chunk is ready, and then another chunk is ready. Clear, everybody, how YouTube is doing it? Similarly, we also have to do it here. If your large amount of data, We never load all the data, and we will not be able to load. It's not about we can never load. Even you want to load, you will never be able to load. So you have to do some kind of mechanism by which you load the data chunk by chunk. You don't load the data in all in one shot. You got to load chunk by chunk. Okay. And for that reason, OData provides two important annotations. One is dollar top and one is dollar skip. To load data in chunk, you can control the chunk size. So first is dollar top. You can tell number of rows, how many number of rows you want. So this will load the top these many records. So watch out, watch out. I go back and now put another URL parameter 10%. So guys, first URL parameter starts with question mark. Next consecutive URL parameter all starts with 10%. Always the first URL parameter starts with question mark and next consecutive URL parameter starts with 10%. So now I put dollar top equals to 1. Earlier it was loading like 200 or 500 records. Now it will just restrict one record. You will observe the loading is also faster. It has got exactly just one record. It has 24 properties inside this record. So it has got exactly those records, guys. Clear everybody? It has got exactly one record. If you say dollar top equal to 2, it gets you the next top 2 records, guys. It has got you top 2 records. See. The first record is HT1000. Second record is HT1001. These are all the 2 records it has got. Now, let's say your chunk size is 2. So first you loaded 2 records. Table has billion records. Now, user loaded 2 records. Now, what you do in mobile? What do you do, guys, in mobile to be able to see further records? What do you do in mobile or in computer to be able to see further records? You scroll down in the UI, right? You do scrolling in the UI or you click on next button in the UI. The moment user does a scroll down or do a next button on the UI, we are going to load another chunk. Again, another chunk will be next 2 records. First 2 record already there with you. You need to load them again. They are already there with the client. Do you need to load the first 2 records again? Or do you think it's not required? Not required, right? They're already there with the browser. You got to load next 2 records. So how do you do it? You got to skip first 2. Dollar skip equals to 2. 10% dollar top equals to 2. Press enter and see. Earlier the record was HT1000 1001 and now you see it is loaded HT1002 as the first record and HT1003 as the second record. So it loaded next 2 records by skipping the first 2 records. Is that clear, everybody? It has loaded the next 2 records by skipping the first 2 records. Is that clear, everybody? Is skipping the first 2 records and loading the next 2 record, loading the next chunk actually. Okay, is that clear, everybody? Loading of records chunk by chunk. How can you do chunking? Okay, this is called paging concept. What is it called? Anybody? What is this called? What is this concept called? What is this concept called? Anyone? What is this concept called? It's called pagination or paging concept. You are paging. You are not loading everything. You are paging data, paging it chunk by chunk. It's called paging concept. Dollar top and dollar skip. Usually they come together. You can also use them individually. Like we first used dollar top individually. Then we used dollar skip later point of time. What an amazing concept. Paging concept. This is a really lifesaver concept, guys. Without this concept, it is impossible to build an application, right? You can think of a big application like IRCTC, which you guys are using to book train tickets or flight tickets, right? You have huge number of trains. If you load everything, impossible to load the data in one shot. Impossible, guys. Is that clear, everyone? What is loading of data chunk by chunk, dollar top and skip? So if you really see behind the scene, everything is getting converted by the server to a SQL query. In this case, what do you think? What is a SQL query is getting converted? It's something like select star from 2. 20 rows, right? This is what we use in ABAP. Up to 20 rows to select 20 records, only 20 records from DB table, right? That's something which is happening behind the scenes. As a consumer, as a OData consumer, as a UI5 developer, you don't need to worry about the query, right? As a backend developer, you need to worry. As a batsman, you don't have to worry. As a bowler, you need to worry, right? As a bowler, you need to really worry about it. But as a batsman, you don't have to, because here, from the UI perspective, from the UI developer perspective, you just need to stick to this protocol. You don't need to worry about underlying technology. You don't need to worry about what is it used, ABAP or Fury, or what is used in backend. You don't need to worry about writing query. You can always stick to this standard OData, and that's it. Your app will get the data for you. Okay, be it any system, doesn't matter. Now the next one, what about if I want to get certain columns? I don't want all 24 columns. Abhi 24 column aa raha hai yahan pe. I don't want all the columns. It's a huge data. Why do I transfer? I don't want these columns actually. I don't want these dates. I don't want the units. I just want product name. I just want category and product name and supplier name. I want only three properties. You can actually do that. So you can use dollar select, always use small letter, equals to, now you can say product name, comma, product maybe category, comma, you can use supplier name. Press enter and watch out what happens. Wow, you see it has got only few columns, guys. So your entity set is very bulky sometimes, like a Mara table. Mara table has 296 columns in above, right? It has 296 columns in above. Now, if you fetch all the columns, you are unnecessarily flooding it. You're flooding it with the data to the client side, which is actually not needed. Do you always show all 296 column on the UI? In a Fiori UI, will you need all 296 columns of your Mara table? अगर नहीं चाहिए तो क्यों लोड कर रहे हो डेटा को? Why are you flooding your network? Why are you flooding an expensive operation, right? It's like select star. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. You are yourself opening up a grave, a never ending grave where you will keep going deep into it slowly without you knowing it. And your end user keep complaining performance अच्छा नहीं है, performance अच्छा नहीं है. तुमने पहले ही गड़बड़ कर दिया, select star कर दिया, performance कहाँ से improve होगा? You should have every layer, be it presentation, be it application, or be it database. You need to make sure that you utilize the resources optimally. You only load the data which is really necessary. You only load the data which is meaningful for you, which you are using. Why are you loading everything? Why are you loading everything? Right? Doesn't make sense. So in this case, now it will save a lot of network resources to transfer this data. So you guys see, guys, it's all coming to the browser, this data. You can also check again network call. You can just press enter. And you see, it has made a call. Oops, sorry. So any call which it is making, you can see, you can always see that call over here. So I just refresh again, and you see it made a call. Product set, entity set, it is calling. And you see this is the result which has come in JSON format. Same result is displayed on your browser actually. So now you can see headers. Again, it's a get call. You'll come down and see we are passing $select. Yeah. Dollar format is JSON. These are query parameters. Yeah. All this you can see it always. Very helpful. You see the whole URL for debugging purpose. So whenever there's a network call going, you can always debug, and then you can take this call and always put it on the top. Yeah, that's always very helpful. The network tab is a lifesaver for us as a developer, because you will not see these calls directly going. They are being made by Fury app. Fury app makes these calls to the backend. You can trace these calls in the network tab, and then accordingly you can reproduce the issue. Yeah, very helpful network tab. Coming back, so that's about selecting certain columns. It's like select column names from the database table. So selecting certain properties. Let's move on to the next one. Now, what next? After we selected this, let's also see a quick thing. I want to just count the number of records I have. Yeah, want to count the number of records I have. Okay, let us go and check it out. So I can come here dollar and I can say dollar count. Press enter. And oops, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. I got the reason. Dollar count should not be used as a query parameter. Rather, it should be used slash dollar count. Question mark format JSON is okay. Press enter and let's see. Oops, something is wrong. I think we should remove this gentleman. Skip dollar count. Press enter. Voila! You can see it is counting the number of records. 123 records are there in the database for this particular entity set. Clear, everybody? How to just the count of records. Very, very helpful. Sometimes you see a Fiori app. They are showcasing the count. So let me go to a Fiori app from sapfioretrial.com. I go here and I go see it in action, please. And just open up any app. Yeah. So you will realize they are showcasing the count at top of the list without they loading the whole data. They are just showcasing the number of records on the top of the list control. How are they doing it? They're just using dollar count to count the records on the server side. So let's say approve purchase contracts. Sorry guys, I'm not well. Okay, you can see on the top, it has loaded the total number of records, 12 records we have got. And now you see, do you think it has loaded all 12 records in one shot? I don't think so. System has loaded only the first chunk, maybe 5 records or 10 records. Press F12. Let's see the network call. Now let me scroll down and watch out what happens. I'm scrolling down. I think it has loaded all 12 records in one shot. The chunk size maybe is 20. But you can also see refresh and you will now see here the calls which are going to the network. See, all the calls to load either the controller from the server, view from the server, everything it is loading. And now you will somewhere see also the call for dollar batch, I guess. Dollar batch is actually clubbing all the calls. You see the metadata call. This is the OData service they are using. You can take this one, copy this and put it on the browser and press enter. That's a metadata. That's the OData service which that app is using, you see. That's the OData service which that app is using. So this is how network call. Network से सब कुछ debug कर सकते हो तुम. Network call से you will know which call it is making to the server, what data it is loading, which entity set it is calling. Very, very helpful, guys. Always very helpful. And now you see, we should find out some call where it is really loading the data. So I think it's workflow task collection. This is the entity set. Let's take this call, copy that, and come here. I want probably in the JSON format. I can say $% format equals to JSON. Enter. Now you see it's loading the data. You see work item ID, task name, PO number. Yeah. How many records it is loading? 12 records. Can you see exactly same number of records are displayed here? Exactly same number of records. So it's an OData call. Look at this purchase order. This is a purchase order number. First one is 6929. Come back here. 6929. See here. 6929. It's actually loading the data from ERP system. This is the data which you have got. Let's see second one. It is 6928. Okay, 6928. Go back to the app, select the second record, and now you see 6928. Are you getting a feel of how the real-time apps are built? They are actually making a call to OData service. That's how they're doing it. Nothing like a magic.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so when are we using dollar and when are we using ampersand?
Dollar is actually OData annotations. You see any OData call which you're making for any property in the OData, you are using dollar. So skip के पहले, top के पहले, order by के पहले, select के पहले, any OData. This is an OData annotation. Dollar is an OData symbol. Okay. $% is used for URL parameter. You are sending them as a URL parameter. So whenever you are making a call to the internet, typically what you will have you will have a HTTP, your protocol or HTTPS, your host name, colon, your port number, slash, your path prefix, like in this case is SAP slash OPU slash OData, your service name, okay, whatever is your service name, slash, and now you want to start entity set. Yeah, entity set. And now your first parameter will come. Guys, what was the funda fox? What is the first parameter starts with? What is the first parameter starts with? What is the first parameter starts with? Question mark. Correct answer. Question mark. And then you put your parameter name equals to parameter value. What is the second parameter starts with? What is the second parameter starts with? What is the second consecutive parameter? All starts with ampersand. Parameter name 2 equals to some value. What is the third parameter starts with? Any consecutive parameter. What all this starts with? What all this starts with? Ampersand again. Parameter name p equals to some value. And now when you're working with OData, these parameters are nothing but your dollar top. You see, dollar format, dollar skip is a parameter, dollar top is a parameter, dollar select is a parameter. So they all the OData parameters, their names are dollar, starts with dollar. All OData parameters. So I'm just going and putting, you see question mark, first parameter, dollar format and OData parameter equals to this value. Second parameter starts with an ampersand, dollar select is the OData parameter name equals to its value. Hope this is clear, everybody, how the URL is built. So dollar parameter names are OData parameters, their parameter names, and this question mark ampersand are the general way of making an HTTP call on internet. General way of passing the parameters and making an HTTP call over the internet. This is what they are actually. Okay.
Do we have
So
a or condition too, like and?
no, this is not a condition. This is not a logical condition. Do not go get into that game of condition. It's not or and condition here. Okay, it's just the way of passing multiple parameters to the server. Okay, you are passing multiple parameters to the server. This is the naming convention. Don't go by ampersand as a logical operator. Okay, it's not a logical operator. It's just a separator for parameters. You're separating parameters. How will system know which are all the parameters you have sent? Multiple parameters. So it's a separator. It's working as a separator here, not a logical operator. Okay, coming back, we saw dollar select to select the data for certain columns. Similarly, now we can also do variety of other operations. So let me come back, and we saw the count, how to count. Let's put that counting records. Actually, it will not cause an overhead on the system when you're counting. It won't read all the data. It just did a count star. Okay. It just did a count star operation, which is not an overhead on database, neither on your server. Now, next one, let's see what else we can do. We can also do filtering. Guys, in select query, what do you use to filter out the records? In select query, what do you use to filter out records? In select query, you use where clause. Perfect answer. So from OData, if you want to perform this operation, filter records, use dollar filter, right? Let me show you a couple of examples of dollar filter. First example, I just want to get only the products. सबसे पहले product लेके आते हैं थोड़े से. Let's get some products. It's loading all the products, taking so much of time. And now see, I want to get all the products which are of category. Let's say, come down. Let's come down. Let's see what can we do. What kind of product I can get. So I want to probably get all the products which are in the category flat screen monitors. Okay. I want all the products which are of flat screen monitors. And you see guys, it's actually loading other products also. It's loading notebooks also. See, notebook also is loading. It's loading web camera. It's loading pan tops. It's loading printers. It's loading projectors. Both सारे PD organizers. You see, different category of products it is loading. I want to load only the products which are flat screen monitors. So come on the top and put, what do I use now here? First, to write a URL parameter. My second URL parameter, what do I use on the top? Ampersand. See guys, first URL parameter already used question mark. Dollar format was your first parameter. Now use ampersand and say dollar filter equals to, and now you can put your condition. I can say my condition is dollar filter equals to my product category. So put category space equals to space single quote उसके अंदर अपना string pass कर दो. Are you clear guys this condition? Your property name equals to property value. Please get me all the products where category is equals to flat screen monitors. Is that clear everybody? What did we do here? Category equals to flat screen monitors. Is that
Anupam,
clear? Sorry?
in the earlier case, we did not use the dollar after the ampersand, right?
We did use. Tell me कहाँ use नहीं किया? सब जगह use किया है.
Actually,
Except the count. Except the count. Because count is not going as a parameter, as a URL parameter. Rest all is going
see,
as a parameter. This is not going as a parameter. Okay.
ये host port SAP का पास, I mean, ampersand p name equals to value, ampersand. Either we didn't use again the dollar.
See,
right?
first parameter starts with question mark.
Okay.
First parameter. This is your first parameter, man. This is your first parameter. It always starts with question mark. आगे के सारे ampersand से start होते हैं.
But
you see here in this case, ampersand, my first parameter was dollar format. It started with question mark. Next parameter was dollar select. It started with ampersand.
Okay. Got it.
Look at here, this example, dollar skip wala. First parameter dollar format started with question mark. Next parameter dollar skip, which was started with ampersand. Third parameter dollar top started with ampersand again.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Got it?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's put here. Now guys, one interesting thing, browsers and network. Whenever browser sending a call over network, it cannot send special characters. Do you see a special character I used here, space? Yeah, I used a special character space here. I used a special character single quote here. Whenever you're making a call from browser to the server, network, HTTP network cannot carry these special characters, be it a space or be it a single quote. So what browser will do? Browser will convert these special characters, be it a space or a single quote, into something called percentage parameter. Let me show you. Press enter. Yeah, देखो मजा आ गया. देखो percentage 20, you had a space here that got converted to percentage 20. You had a single quote that get converted to percentage 27. So never get confused. What is this percentage things? They are actually the special characters which cannot be sent over the network are converted by browser automatically. Similarly, you see response e tag is coming here. There is this time. So you see percentage something. ये टाइम है तो 2 घंटा 0 minutes और 27 seconds. इसके बीच में this is percentage 3 is a special character which is sent coming as a response. This also got converted. So there may be some space, or I think it's colon. When you're writing time now, you're writing time like 02 colon 00 colon 27. Now see what browser did. It converted that column to percentage 3a. So this percentage 3a is your this special character. Is that clear everybody? So never get confused by looking at them. Percentage 20 kya hai? Percentage 20. These are actually representation of special characters because browser cannot carry them. I hope it is clear to all of you. The representation of special characters. So don't get confused with this. It will happen automatically by browser. This is our first call which we made to get the data for filter. And now watch out, you see it has only got the products which are flat screen monitors. सारा देख लो चाहे. नीचे आओ, दूसरा भी यही है. नीचे आओ, तीसरा भी यही है. नीचे आओ, चौथा भी यही है. Let me ask a question now. I want to load all the flat screen monitors, but I want to load them chunk by chunk. What do I use? I don't want to load all flat screen monitors out of my system. What do I do? Perfect answer. Use dollar filter. Yes, along with the combination of dollar top and skip. So tell me guys, if my $top is my next parameter, what do I put here in the URL? कहाँ से start करूं? Next parameter कैसे start करूं? How do I start my next parameter from? M%. Perfect answer, Pratibha. Just put an M%. Now my next parameter name. What is the parameter name? What is the parameter name for paging? What is the parameter name for paging? What is the parameter name for paging? It's $top. Very good. $top. $top equals to, let's say I want only one product. Now watch out guys. It's like a combining thing. Select up to one rows from table where category is equals to this. It's like where class के साथ में up to rows लगा दिया. Center, watch out, you will see only one record coming out of the system. See, and that record belongs to flat screen monitor category. So you can use combination of these parameters to gel up your query. Okay, it's building the select query behind the scene. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry which database it is, which application server it is. It could be a Node.js. We don't know. It may be a Java server which is giving you this response. As a UI developer, you are only talking to OData. As a UI developer, you don't need to care what is the backend. It could be ABAP, it could be Java, it could be Node.js, any programming language. But you as an ABAP developer, just talking to the server. Sorry, as a UI developer talking to server with OData protocol. Okay, so that's how we can do things. Now, next, I want to do a pattern search. I want to get all the products which has description as max. Okay, which contains description as max. I want all the products which contains description as max. Once again, I repeat, I want all the products which contains description as max. Now tell me guys, which OData operator you think you will be using? Let me just go to the base call again, the product JSON. Now tell me which OData operator you will be using to be able to get the data. I just asking you not the condition, I'm asking you which operator. Will you use top? Will you use skip? What will you use? Yes, you will use filter again. So now first parameter is dollar format. What do I start it with? What do I start my next parameter with? What do I start? M%. Perfect answer. Dollar filter use करेंगे. Now let me show you this function. So you can use substring of. And now come inside substring of. What are you looking? I am looking for max. Okay. Whenever max is found, where are you looking max for? I'm looking max for in the product description. Space equals to this condition goes true. Please return me the record. Wherever you find description with max, if this condition is true, return me the records, please. Press enter. Watch out, it will get you all the products which has product description containing max, but it is not supported by my backend. This particular call is not supported by my backend, hence you see it's giving me an error. So again, it depends. There is nothing like magic. Backend में कोड तो होना चाहिए ना इसको सपोर्ट करने का. वो कोड नहीं है इनके पास में. This sample OData service does not have the code to support this kind of filter, which is a search like filter for me. It doesn't have, guys. That is the reason I am getting this error. Is that clear, everybody? So it also nothing like a magic. There has to be some ABAP code which must be written in the backend for this particular substring filtering, which is not there today. That's why I got an error. So don't panic. We can check it in some other OData service. Let me just go to free OData service on internet. Services.odata.org. Yes, please.
Anmo, this Murli. So whatever the different combinations that you are showing that in the browser, like search.
I'm coming to that. So where can you find them? Where is the documentation? I'll come to that. Please allow me to complete. I'll come to that point as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now this is another OData service provided by services.odata.org. Free OData service for you guys. Do you know the backend for this? Anybody? Do you think they built it by ABAP? This OData service is built on Python. Do you really matter? Does it really matter for you as a UI developer? कि किसमें build किया है? Doesn't matter, boss. It's the OData protocol. You as a UI developer talking to OData, you don't even give a damn what is the backend. This is also an OData service. You see, it's publicly available on internet. It's nothing related to SAP. Public available OData service on internet. Services.odata.org. इन सर्विस फ्री देता है ये, आके चेक करो, डायरेक्ट खुल जाएगा. And now maybe I want to get the products from here. ये entity set है इसका, उठा लो, डाल दो यहाँ पे, ये products load कर दिया इसने. I want to load it in JSON format, question mark dollar format equals to JSON कर दो, press enter. You see आ गया. Now I want all the products which contains quantity per unit contains bottles. Okay, I want all the product which quantity per unit contains bottles. ये support करता है. M% कर दो, dollar filter equals to substring of single quote. I put bottle, comma, my property, which property, where am I looking, comma, space equals to 2. When this expression evaluates to 2, get me the records, press enter. It did not get, something is wrong. I think I have to flip the parameters, first the property name, then comma, the property value. No, I think it's not working. I think they're also not supporting. Let's try with another property. So I want all the products where the name, product name contains, let's say, syrup. Okay, let's try that. So name contains syrup. So I just come here and I say my condition where syrup is part of name. It's not getting. Now I forgot.
It's product name. It's product name, not name. Product was there in the beginning. Yeah. Small p, I guess.
No, I forgot. Maybe I forgot the syntax. Where can we find it? Just now Murali asked this question. Where can we find these things which I'm using? You can go to odata.org. As I told you, it's a Microsoft product used in industry, not specifically for SAP. This is the main website where you can see all the details. And now let's go to the documentation, developers, documentation. And now you see complete documentation, all the extensions, all the features, JSON format, URI conversions, everything you can see it here, all the details. The latest version of OData specification is version 4. Okay, so maybe I'll just go quickly to URI conventions, and you see all the URI conventions here. See how to drive types, entity collection, greater than, you see logical operators, dollar filter, logical operators. ये देखिए पूरा documentation डाला हुआ है यहाँ पे, equals, not equals. Yeah, you see lots of examples they are putting. Dollar filter name is not equals to this, name is this. Similarly, you will also find ends with. You see this is a function ends with, not ends with. Lots of features are there inbuilt. These are all the OData specifications. Concatenation at runtime, you see it's concatenating. Yeah. Filtering contains, you see dollar filter contains, company name is this. I think we should use contains. Okay, let's use contains. So now let's use contains. So come back and I say, instead of this, I say contains. And what is it saying? Contains property name, comma, property value. What is my property name? Is product name. Then I say it contains syrup. Enter. No, I don't think so. Name is not a right property. Okay, I forgot it, I think. Let me just go and check. It's product name, correct. So, right, $10 filter. I think they're not supporting this. Contains is not found. I think they're supporting substring of. And this one should come later. For syrup should come. What are you searching? Where are you searching? And there you go. You can see now this works. It has got only one product which contains name as syrup. Yeah. So substring of syrup, comma, which property? Where are you looking for? Equals to true. If this expression is true, boss return the product. Clear, everybody? This is how you can do it. You can find entire documentation on odata.org. Very large, very large. But you don't need to understand the whole thing. You don't need to understand everything. You cannot also. Impossible. You can only understand system. But once you understand system, you can find out. मुझे कोई भी challenge ला दो मैं कर दूंगा. I can do anything. Get me any challenge, I will do it. Maybe I not know, but I will find out because I know the system. I know how system works. I know where can I find my results. That's the beauty. And that confidence comes when you understand system. That confidence comes when you understand system. That confidence comes when you understand system. You don't need to understand. Impossible. Even for Anubhav. Believe me, I not even read 2% of UI5 documentation till date. 2% भी नहीं पढ़ा है मैंने. Even I have not read 0.002% of OEC's documentation for OData. I have not read it. But you get me a challenge. Okay, बोलता हूँ मैं निकाल के ले आऊंगा. I can find out because I know system, how it works. What is an OData? What is an OData call? What is an operator? How the URL parameter is built? वो मैं ठोक के बोलता हूँ मैं निकाल के ले आऊंगा. वो confidence कैसे आया? Practice is the only key. Believe me, I have worked day and night, so much of hard work. You don't even know my sitting hours on laptop. 18 to 20 hours of learning a day. 365 days a year. 365, 7 days a week. Not even a single day. Chahe family function ho, chahe Diwali ho, chahe Holi ho. Not even a single day. That is the kind of practice which is required to build this skill. This is the only way, only way. This is the only way, guys. There is no other way. There is no shortcut. If a trainer is telling you, I have a shortcut to make you understand UI5, believe me, there is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. Hard work is the key. Hard work is the success story. Hard work is the success shortcut. If you really want to become successful, hard work and hard work. I have done day and night compromising on every single thing. मेरा भी movie देखने का मन करता है. मेरा भी खेलने का मन करता है. I also want to watch movies. I also want to go to theater. I also want to drive my car. I also want to do skating. I also want to do dancing. मेरा भी बहुत मन करता है. I also want to do partying. I also want to go for leaves, vacations. लेकिन अपने दिमाग और दिल को समझा लेता हूँ. रुक जा, अभी नहीं, अभी वक्त है. The time will come. The time will come. Hold on. This is the time to work hard. The time will come. Very important, guys. If you can convince your mind and heart to do something, nobody can stop you. And the biggest problem with me, I'm a very slow learner. Very, very slow learner. Believe me, I'm slowest amongst all of you. इतना स्लो पढ़ता हूं मैं, इतना स्लो लर्नर हूं. बट माई बिगेस्ट की एडवांटेज, my biggest strength, once I learn something, I never forget because I note down with my notebook in my notebook. I note down every single thing in my notebook. मैं भूलता नहीं उस चीज को, एक बार सीख लिया तो. And I put my whole heart and soul into it. I don't even go think anything else. While you won't even believe, when I'm driving or when I'm talking to somebody, one part of my mind is still there with that particular thing which I read, which I learned about. Chintan and Manan. Chintan and Manan is very important. When you're talking to somebody, when you're sitting idle, when you're sleeping, when you are in the bus, when you are in the cab, when you are in the train, when you are in the flight, my mind is constantly reviving. My mind is constantly talking about that thing. वो क्या पढ़ा था मैंने, वो क्या देखा था, वो क्या था? What was that thing? What was that thing? My mind is thinking about it. This Chintan and Manan is also very helpful. Very, very helpful. Because that time you will realize कि you're missing something. कुछ तो रह गया है, कुछ तो रह गया है, कुछ तो रह गया है. When you are reviving that thing in your mind, that time your mind will give you signal, यार मैं कुछ भूल रहा हूँ, यार मैं कुछ भूल गई हूँ, कुछ तो भूल गई हूँ, क्या भूल गई हूँ. Then you will go back then you will go back to that document, you will go back to that unit, you will go back to that discussion, and then you will recall. And uske baad jo realization hota hai, kabhi nahi bhuloge. याद रखना, कभी नहीं भूलोगे. करके देखो ट्राई, कभी नहीं भूलोगे. This is the way to memorize things. And get me open challenge. Get me anything, I will build it. Because I know the system. You don't need to understand everything. Again, I'm telling you, if you try to understand everything, believe me, it's impossible. See how many operators they have. Do we really need to use all of them? We don't need to, guys. We don't need to. Maybe some of these operators you will never use in entire life. So that's why reading the entire documentation for me doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Substring of, you can check it here. You can see the substring of function. Yeah, the same what we saw. You see dollar filter substring of parameter name, parameter value equals to this. Yeah, substring of equals to if. So lots of these functions are there inside this documentation. Let me put this copy and this documentation for OData. Click here for OData documentation. Okay. So dollar filter is also done, dollar top is also done, dollar skip is also done. What else we left over with? I think all are done. Majority of these OData operations are done. In the next class, I will start building the OData service. In fact, first we will consume this OData service, which it is built. We will just go to our fruits product, fruits JSON project. There we will connect to this productive OData service. जो अभी दिखाया है उससे connect करेंगे. कैसे connect होगा? Web ID से कैसे connect होगा? ये सब मैं next session में आपको सिखाऊंगा. We'll connect this OData service with our web IDE to be able to consume the data. I'm so sorry for link today. I will make sure the link is stable. Tomorrow's class, please follow the calendar invite as usual to be able to look at the link of tomorrow's class. I'm extremely sorry for today's thing. I will try to make sure and fix it up, and I will test it, and then only I'll give the link to all of you. Yeah. Any questions before we close today's class? Anybody? Yes, please.
Anubhav?
Yes, one by one, please.
Yeah, Murli, go ahead.
Anubhav, this is just like when do you plan to complete the class? Because I wanted to go out in November first week for a couple of days. When do you think the classes will be over?
Okay, I think already on 34th session today. The promise was 40 hours, but I think we will take extra 1 or 2 classes more. And as I informed earlier, 19th is when I am not there. 18th will have the class, guys. 18th will have the class. I'm not canceling this occurrence. 18th will have. 19th will not have. 19th, 20, 21st. 3 days will not have a class. So today was 34th, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. Easily by 30, 31st we'll complete it. Easily.
Okay.
My plan is to complete it by 27th. Easily we will complete by 27th. Okay.
Okay.
So you can plan next month. In fact, my next batch for UI5 is starting on 29th. I've already announced it on the website. So by that time I will have to complete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more classes. Actually more than 40 hours it will go. My promise was 40 hours, but it will go more than 40 hours actually. So I don't compromise on topics because my time is exceeding. That's okay. 1, 2 hours are fine. We can exceed.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Hey, Anubhav.
Anubhav. Oh, sorry.
Hey, Anubhav, can you go to the metadata screen?
This one?
No, the metadata screen where you loaded the Internet Explorer. Yeah. So if I need to get the count with the filter which you already have, so how do we do that?
Okay, very easy. So let's come back. Maybe in this case, I have a filter with substring of searching for syrup. And then what do you think, guys? Next parameter starts with what? Next parameter starts with what? %. डॉलर सेलेक्ट डाल दो इसके साथ में. कौन सा चाहिए सर? प्रोडक्ट आईडी चाहिए. प्रोडक्ट आईडी डाल दो. और कौन सा चाहिए? कॉमा लगाओ. बताओ क्या चाहिए सर आपको? यूनिट प्राइस चाहिए. Let's put unit price, comma unit price. एंटर दबा दो. 2 ही प्रॉपर्टी आएगा बाहर. डॉलर सेलेक्ट यूज कर लिया उसके साथ में. Does that answer your question?
Similar.
No, Anubhav, like if I need to get the count of the record.
Count of the records. Okay, so now in this case filter के साथ में count चाहिए. यहाँ पे आ जाओ, नहीं लगाना है, slash लगाओ, डॉलर काउंट करो, एंटर दबाओ. Oops, ये नहीं काम किया. No problem, we'll try it out. So come here, products के बाद slash डॉलर काउंट लगाओ, M% filter दे दो. Let's try this one. नहीं आया. I'm not sure. Then I have to find out. कैसे निकालेंगे? Let's see. How can we count it? So dollar count. So let's try it out. अब तो मैं गूगल भी कर सकता हूँ, because you guys know this. Okay, so now I'll say O data filter with count. Enter दबाओ. Counting O data entities. So now you see slash count slash call slash extra slash also is putting here with question mark filter. You see guys, slash customers entity set slash count slash question mark dollar filter. Let's try this out. एक और slash भूल गया मैं, ये लगा दो यहाँ पे, एंटर दबा दो. Unsupported media type requests. I think this OData service is not supporting this one. So OData service has to support it, man. Let me try this with SAP wala OData. So I come here and I say I want slash dollar count. It will give me all of them, and then I'll say where product ID I will use a dollar select slash question mark dollar filter equals to product ID is greater than HT hyphen 1021. Enter. See, it has got me only 114 products. Is that clear, everyone? It has earlier getting me 120 or something, and now it has got me 140. So maybe I'll just change this to, let's say, 1050. अभी देखना काउंट चेंज हो जाएगा. 102 हो गया सर, 114 था, 102 हो गया. Is that clear, everybody? So use entity set slash count slash question mark your filter. This is how you can get the data and get the count for filtered records count. Easy, easy.
Okay.
Tell me anything else. Get me something tough, sir. This is easy one.
Anubhav, I have one query. Right, when we are converting here to JSON format, the property name are not in double quotes, but while we were creating the file, we were giving the field names in double quotes and values as well in double quotes, right? So what's the
One
difference?
second,
Like
let's see.
why it is
Let's get
so?
some data. Let's get some data. Get some data. Now please tell me. Here you mean to say this one is not in double quotes?
Yes, it is not in double quotes. If you see property name, product ID, type code, category, these are not in
Okay,
double
I'll
quotes,
tell
but
you what to
values are
do.
in
I'll
double.
tell you what to do. I'll tell you one trick. Good question. Good question. So I understand what you want to do. Okay, guys, let me repeat what he wants. He want to now download this file, use this file as a JSON sample data in his project and connect it with for the binding. But in OData project or in the project Fury project which we built, there we had a file that has a property name surrounded with double quotes. And इसमें नहीं है double quotes. इसको सेव कर दो, इसको कॉपी मारो, कंट्रोल A कंट्रोल C, F12, go to console, create a variable, entire string inside that variable, entire thing. Okay, just enter. Sorry, put it in single quotes. Okay, put it in single quotes because there are many double quotes here. So put it in single quotes. So var Anubhav equals to single quote the entire string, again single quote and enter. ले नहीं रहा है यार, ले नहीं रहा है. What to do? What to do? How to do? How to do? Come on, let's come to the sources. Come to the network tab, make this call again. Look at this one, select it, go to response. In the response, now you see यहाँ पे आपका proper आता है. Can you see this? Copy this and
Okay.
take it into a JSON lint.com.
So you mean to say like our UI5 framework converts this to proper OData format
Browser is
before
converting
consuming
it
it?
currently. You see now it is
Okay,
coming
browser is
here.
converting. Yeah.
Browser. So actually guys, now another problem. I'll tell you one secret. If you guys try this call in your system now, you will not get this beautification. This beautification you will not get. Why am I getting this beautification? Why am I getting this collapse, expand? ये सब आपके system में नहीं होगा. I'll tell you a magic tool. Go to internet, search for JSON viewer plugin Chrome. Okay, plugin Chrome. Search for that. Just add this plugin to your browser, guys. Otherwise, you'll not get a beautification in the output. I have already added this to my Chrome browser. JSON viewer plugin. There are multiple plugins. Just add one of these plugin to your browser. Then only browser will beautify your output. Otherwise, this beautification which I see, you will not see. Okay. So the thing double quotes are gone because we are using here a beautification plugin. बट इन एक्चुअल इमैक्यूलेट पवित्र जो गंगा बह रही है ऊपर से उसमें एकदम पवित्रता झलक रही है. ऊपर से डेटा आ रहा है ना, उसमें पवित्रता आ रही है. एंटर दबाओ, यहाँ जाओ, ये पवित्र डेटा है, पवित्र जल है, इसको उठा लो. इस पवित्र जल को उठा लो, ग्रहण कर लो, शुद्धि हो जाएगी आत्मा की. उठा लो इसको, कॉपी मार लो. दिस इज पवित्र, immaculate. This is immaculate water. Copy that. Really divine. Come back here. JSON lint is our friend. Validate with JSON lint. Perfect. Save this now in your file in UI5. Connect it. Exercise for all of you. यही exercise देने वाला हूं मैं अभी. This is the exercise for all of you. Replace the fruit data from the JSON data coming from OData service. देखता हूं किसकी बाजू में कितना दम है. Let's see how many of you can do that. OData service with product entity set. Connect it in our current Fury project. Replace the fruit data from the JSON coming from OData service with product set entity set data and show the data in list control. देखते हैं कितना कर सकते हो. Let's see who has got real expertise. This exercise, if you can complete, you can call yourself a beginner in UI5. This exercise you can complete. This you can complete. You understood all concepts which I taught you till date, including OData, JSON model, MVC, UI5 project, Web ID. सब सीख गए हो अगर ये exercise complete कर पाओगे तो.
Anubhav, we have to replace our data, whatever in the mock data file we have,
Yes.
with the entity set data from the
Absolutely.
OData, or like we have to do the binding, which you are going to do it in
नहीं,
next classes.
just get this data,
Just
take this data, ये वाला data, take this completely
and
replace it
okay,
in
and
the
display
file
it in
which
the
you
list.
have. And then
Okay, and display it
this
in the
data
list.
should come then on the UI. Product data.
Okay, sure. Okay.
This product data should come on the UI, which I'm showing here. This data should come on UI, guys. कर सकते हो तो मजा आ जाएगा. अपने आप पे फक्र महसूस होगा आप लोगों को. You will feel proud on yourself कि you have done it. Many of you will get tears in their eyes कि खुद किया, मैंने किया, देखो मैंने कर दिया. Let's see how many of you can do this. You will feel proud on yourself. Try out. You will love this example. Okay. Great. With that, it's a wrap on today's
Okay,
class. See you tomorrow. Yes,
Anubhav,
please.
yeah, I'm still not getting the count, Anubhav.
You're not getting the count? Show me your screen. Let's see.
Yeah.
You will get it. Let me give you the presenter rights. Over to you, Jay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see your screen.
No, I think again you're sharing for my mobile. I'm sharing my laptop.
Okay, one second. Now try.
Yeah, it's opening.
Okay.
So it's installing some file, Anubhav.
Yeah, let it do. Can you give me the URL? Is it a public URL or your own OData server?
No, my own data service.
Achha. Maybe the Vapor has not supported that query in the backend.
I am the babber.
You are the then we will catch you.
So you can see my screen.
Still we don't see a screen. Now I think you can. Yes, we can see. Please go ahead. You've done a mistake. Wait. I can tell you. There is a question mark at the wrong place. Can you see case list set? Question mark is there. Just remove that please and put it before dollar filter. Remove that. Put it dollar before. ना 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 यहाँ नहीं डॉलर फिल्टर के पहले यस क्वेश्चन मार्क डाल दो अब दबाओ सर एग्जीक्यूट दबाओ now this is an error from your gateway okay just remove from the end m% dollar format json remove that that's not required because you're getting count उसमें तो सीधा नंबर आएगा एक नंबर आएगा आपके पास में उसको फॉर्मेट क्यों कर रहे हो
Okay.
boom there you
Oh,
go you
okay.
can see dollar response 200 okay code 4 आ गया
Yeah, Anubhav. Perfect.
when you do things right things will always work have a confidence
Okay.
in yourself guys कुछ भी कर सकते हो तुम लोग तुम मेरे स्टूडेंट हो you guys are my student I'm proud on my students have done amazing job in their life many of them they do come back to me recently one of the students yes day before yesterday she emailed me she got job offer in Volkswagen
Wow.
traveling to Germany now next week and she got job in Volkswagen she said I had 8 rounds of interview and each round of interview I had scored more than 9 so you guys are my student I'm proud on you guys have some confidence in yourself don't panic go for it Go for it, guys. Don't panic. Never panic. Have confidence in yourself. Output will follow you. You don't have to follow output. Output will follow you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Anubhav.
Goodbye.